What's up, everyone? Welcome to Untitled Nerd Show, your place for all the nerdiest conversations on all the nerdiest topics. We are Player 22. I'm AD.
I'm Tara.
We are joined by Nerdy Farmer.
Hi, everybody.
So,
We sewed each other. I was going to say, so how's everybody doing today?
oh yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Well,
How are you, Tara?
I'm well.
Is well.
I'm well.
She's well. She's just well, not outstanding.
No, I'm not outstanding. It's been a rough week.
Yeah, you know,
But the week is over,
as
and
just
Yeah, it's been a rough
another day in paradise, living the dream.
I have murdered
What are all the
0 people
cliches?
this week.
What's another
You've murdered
cliche?
what?
Better than I deserve. That's my favorite.
Better than I
What-
deserve.
All I heard is that Tara said she was a murderer. What's going on?
Well, you know.
No. I said I murdered 0 people this week.
Oh, okay. I mean, that is. Do you guys have like a little one of those, so many days without an accident sign, so
Yes.
many days without Tara killing somebody sign?
We have, I'm not confirming or denying anything, but I will say it has been at minimum 7 days since our last homicide.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. That's good.
That's a record.
Good.
So,
Maybe you make it to double digits.
no, not get crazy. Monday's not that many days away.
Yeah. Monday's the prime day for killings.
Well, can't say that I have had the best of weeks either. So, hey, gotta look forward.
But
right?
you know what? I think technology counts as nerd news. I purchased myself a Chromebook this week.
A Chromebook.
Yeah.
How do you like said Chromebook?
I love it, actually. I have a desktop that I use for majority of like work and stuff. So this is really just. It's better than a tablet, but it's not like a normal laptop.
Okay. I'm not big into the Chromebook stuff, so I wouldn't be able to tell you if it's a good thing or bad thing. But I'm not really an expert when it comes to technology ratings as it is.
Well, I got a new toy. Is really the
There we go.
Underlying.
Our newbie nerd has now started referring to electronics as new toys.
Yeah.
There it is. She's yep. We have your nerdification has entered the final stages.
To be fair, I've always been a gadget person. Get that from my
Oh.
dad.
Yeah. I think gadgets in and of itself. But did your Chromebook come from China?
Well, probably.
Oh, no.
It was made by Google. It's a Pixel book. So it's Google's Chromebook.
So you did like Lysol it, right?
Dip it in bleach? No, the way I was feeling this week, I licked it. Let's just go ahead and.
Sorry. You actually did kill people because you went around. You just started handing the Chromebook to other people, saying,
Precisely.
"Here you go, just touch this.
Yep.
Just touch it. Just touch it."
I've smeared it on everything.
So hey, there you go. There's a segue. I know it's the topic that a lot of people have been talking about. The coronavirus. GDC has been canceled. A lot of people are very upset that they're going to also have Comic-Con. There's actually a huge petition of people demanding that Comic-Con be canceled this year because of the coronavirus.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What's y'all's take on that?
I don't know. I think with as many people as there are freaking out about this shit, I could see attendance numbers going way down for all these big things. I don't know why you would. I mean, I don't know why you would like request that Comic-Con be shut down as opposed to just not going.
Yeah, and I think that's the argument that a lot of people
It's like, I don't want to go, so I need you to cancel it.
Right? Like if I can't go, no one should be able to go. Like, I mean, I think that's the argument a lot of people have said. Like, if you're concerned about it, don't go. Like, and that's kind of how I feel about it. Like, I get the thought process, but these people are basically, and I've gone on, Twitter. Ugh, Do you guys have Twitter accounts? Don't get one.
Yes.
I only have a Twitter to follow shit that I'm interested in. I'm not
they're the
Twitter
devil.
guy.
I swear Twitter is just like a cesspool of negativity. But there's a lot of people who are saying, well, if you have Comic-Con and you bring all these people together, you're responsible for the spread of coronavirus. So you are evil people, basically, is what they're saying. And just because they're offering it to people, like, that's like saying, you know, hospitals are evil because all the sick people come there and then they could spread the coronavirus. Like, I mean,
yeah.
I know it's like the opposite end of the spectrum, but like, come on now. If you don't feel safe going, and I'm going to say this to, I think, anybody who's watching us or anybody who catches us later, is
it's the grocery store's fault if you get coronavirus by going grocery shopping.
Yeah. I mean, like the nerdy way I said, it's grocery store's fault if you get coronavirus and go shopping. But I mean, the reality of it is, I mean, if you don't feel safe going somewhere, just don't go. I mean, we live in a world now where literally everything is available digitally. Everything. I mean, I don't know if you guys are aware, I can do my fucking grocery shopping on Amazon.
Yeah.
So, like it's the only thing I can't order is milk. I mean, I guess I could if I got like the powdered milk or whatever, but I mean, it's literally to the point now, if you don't feel comfortable going, don't go. I mean, these big conventions, it's like when Sony pulled out of PAX East because of the coronavirus stuff.
Oh, I didn't even know that was why.
I just did a quick look. According to the New York Times, there's a little over 300 confirmed cases in the United States.
Well, yeah. I mean, just yesterday, Kentucky had their first confirmed case, and Kentucky's a state where I live. I think they're going overboard, though. We have one confirmed case, and the governor declared a state of emergency.
So, yeah. So, this goes back to something that I said, because, like, I feel like this, and I'm a germaphobe, just as a disclaimer, right? So, this is me. I have to make a conscious effort to not, be weird about it.
Right.
Right. But like I say this every time there is a major country gripping event, right? So after 9/11 or a shooting or a disease or whatever, is that we're not going to shut down life and just all wait inside of our houses until this is over. It's just not going to happen.
I agree with you, but I think that's what some people are really pushing for. Like they're terrified. And I don't want to get political. I know we're supposed to be talking nerd stuff, and I brought this up because it's affecting nerd stuff. Like, they're talking. I mean, China shut down production on everything. Like, China has literally, I've seen pictures of literally where these drones and videos where these drones are going through the streets in these Chinese cities, and there'll be people like on a street corner talking or something, and this drone will be like yelling at them, "Go home! You must go home! You're not allowed to congregate! Go home! Spread a virus! Blah blah blah!" And like the factories are shut down, and I was joking about your Chromebook being made in China, but I mean, 90% of all the electronics we purchase here in the United States are made in China. And this is a big year for consoles where, PlayStation and Xbox is supposed to be releasing their next gen.
Yeah.
I mean, this is going to affect us all. And I think realistically, the problem is that people aren't informing, like our governments and the media aren't informing people, and they're letting this hysteria rise. What's next? Is the government going to ban all conventions until the coronavirus is taken care of? Which could possibly be never. It could be the next thing where it's the next type of flu, where everybody just gets it every year and it changes every year. I mean, I don't know. I think if we're not careful, it's not the virus that's going to destroy nerd culture or things happening in the country. I think it's going to be the hysteria. I think that's what's going to be the problem, in my opinion.
What's up, Soul Creek?
Hey, Mr. Soul Creek.
You were up drinking pretty late last night, so.
Oh, was he? Was he
you.
drinking with you?
It's Old Greek.
Yeah, he said last night while we were streaming he had been drinking for like 7 hours.
That's just a normal Friday for Soul Creek. He's German.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean, not to start the stream off on negativity with the coronavirus. What you got? Give us something fun.
Well, so, but the first topic is also kind of a negative. So, so Atlas, developers of the Persona games, they came out with a very strict set of rules pertaining to streaming their games. I don't know if you knew this in the past, but Persona 5 had the original Persona 5 had a lot of controversy about them restricting people from streaming it at first, and then they came out later and said just don't stream it past this certain date in the game, you know, to avoid spoiling, you know, the end game or the second half of the game or whatever.
Okay.
Now with their new Persona 5 Scramble coming out, that weird, like, I don't know what it is, like a Dynasty Warriors type of Persona looking thing.
Yeah.
And now with Persona 5 Royal coming out, they've come out with this list of rules to not do.
Oh yeah.
DJ Technique, hello, how are you?
What's up?
Yes, we are using Discord chat.
We're also using regular chat.
Good day today. Hello, how are you? So here's the list. Here's a list of don'ts.
And this is the video game makers list?
Yes.
Okay.
Uploading screenshots or videos requires you to use the console's own capture share and share functions. So only using PlayStation Share.
Wait, well, I'm sorry. So they're telling me what program I could use?
Yes.
Oh, hell no. I'm already against this.
Atlas will not allow screenshots or videos captured via personal capture cards. So there goes like every content creator's, you know.
Wait, so they're even telling me what hardware I'm not allowed to use now?
Yeah. Only upload videos to sites supported by the sharing features on Switch and PS4. I don't know what sites those are. I don't know if Twitch supports that. Probably does, but still, that's not an ideal way to stream it. If you are showing event scenes or story scenes, you must clearly mention that there are spoilers.
Well, that's fair.
That's fair. Footage or screenshots should also show copyright Atlas, copyright Sega, copyright Koei Tecmo Games. All rights reserved.
Okay.
Do not use gameplay footage for any other purpose other than showing gameplay.
So you can't use it on your stream to make money, is what they're saying.
Basically. Do not upload the BGM or music data, or use gameplay footage for the main purpose of listening to the music.
Okay.
Whatever. Uploading gameplay to sites that require subscription services or payment to browse is counted as using gameplay for monetary purposes.
Yeah, so you couldn't do it on Twitch anyway.
Yeah. Do not use the gameplay footage to slander other people. That's a weird one, but okay. If Atlas requests you to remove the video, please remove the video. Videos that Atlas deem are unacceptable will be deleted or taken off from viewing. Queries into this matter may or may not be answered by Atlas. So basically, fuck you.
That was...
Alright, so I'm reading chat as you're reading these off. So, good day today. He says, it's their IP, they should be able to control how it's streamed, they invested to make it. It's their IP, they should be able to control on how it is streamed. If people want to disagree, then vote with your wallet, not buy the game. Of course, you didn't buy the right to do whatever you want with it, you licensed it. Everything you say is absolutely correct.
We're not arguing that they're wrong to set these restrictions, but setting these restrictions is wrong.
Yeah, they are the only ones in the industry doing something like this.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be clear. When somebody plays a game like Persona 5, a very long, story-heavy game, where if you give a certain spoiler, you've ruined the entire game for somebody. I get it. They want everybody to play their game and experience it, and they want to make money off of it. Okay? And I can also get behind them saying that I'm not allowed to make money off of it because it is their IP and they don't want it used that way. But let's see, Mr. arguing that they are trying to go against the grain, or trying to set a precedent. And I think that's what the problem is. I think it's what a lot of content creators are pushing back against. Like, if every company started doing this, Good Day Today, like, I, as a content creator, would have no content.
Yeah.
Like, that's the big thing. And while I don't make a lot of money, really any money as a content creator, because I'm still very small, there are content creators where this is their entire livelihood, first of all. And second of all, there are a lot of people who enjoy this content for the simple fact that they don't either have the time or the money to enjoy this type of product, whatever it may be, and they use Twitch or YouTube or something along those lines to enjoy something that they otherwise wouldn't be able to. You know, and I get that's an up and down.
So I used to watch the this YouTube channel. I watched it for like years. It was like my regular thing. I watch these guys play all these different types of games. And there are a lot of games that I have played now because I saw it on their channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Taryn and I would probably have never gotten into Telltale games if I didn't see these guys playing a Telltale game.
Yeah. And we'll see, and that's the other thing. Like, where does it stop at that point? Like, that's my thing. Like, we're giving them free advertising.
Yeah.
And we're not arguing it's a good day. I get it. We're what you're saying is 100% correct. We should vote with the wallets. We should backlash. Like, it sounds like that you're on our side, but you support their ability to set the standards for what they want done with their game. And I get it. The licensing, it's all their stuff.
And we're not saying that, you know, we are entitled to do what we want with the game. We're saying that it's beneficial to both sides let people stream it.
I'm not going to give this guy any more promotion. He doesn't need it. But, like, you can't tell me that they would have sold the number of Fortnite games that they have sold if it wasn't for certain obnoxious, popular streamers. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, and that's not even the only game I can think of. You know what I mean? It's like,
I mean, like, you look at these companies who want to set these, and I'm sorry, these are ridiculous rules. Ridiculous rules. To tell me, oh, yes, I can share the content, but I can't use this hardware. Oh, and I have to use this specific program. And, okay, no. I mean, what's next? You're going to tell me what TV I can play it on?
So,
I mean, come on.
So here's something, though, because I didn't read the last rule yet.
Oh, there's still one more.
Players are not allowed to share anything about the game's endgame or anything afterwards. Are you restricting what I talk about now?
I think that's what they're trying to say. They're telling me what I can't talk about.
That's not constitutional.
Well, but you got to realize that this is a game made in a different country. They don't have the same rules that we do. Freedom of speech is something unique to the U.S.
Yeah.
But this is Evil Bunny Fufu. Good morning.
But I would still argue that they therefore don't have the capacity to tell me that.
Bunny, we're talking about Atlas, the developers of Persona.
Yeah, I would argue too that they can't tell me what I can and cannot talk about. So, like, if I'm a person, I purchase your game, I play it, and say I don't stream it, I follow all your rules, and then I get on, say, the Untitled Nerd Show, and we discuss the impact, the social impact of the game, because Persona 5 is a very controversial game, to say the least, for a lot of people. You're telling me that you're going to strike my channel or make me take down my video because I discussed something that's in your game?
Yeah.
That's no bueno.
Like not even not even streaming. Like, what if we just tweeted about the game?
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you gonna control our fucking social media now?
Morning, Bunny.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I
morning.
don't know. There's something called a contract of cohesion. Not even part of every agreement is bindable. In a form of arbitration, they just use shotgun method. That sounds like what they're trying to do is a shotgun method saying you can't talk about. So like, there's one thing. Here's what would go over better, and I hope Atlas one day sees this. They probably never will, but here's what would go over better: coming across not as an asshole.
Yeah.
like just being like, hey, we appreciate everything that streamers are doing, or content creators are doing to advertise our game and show how much their love for our game is. We would appreciate, though, if you are going to stream our video game, that you do it on this platform. Please be aware that we are against the use of these platforms, and these are the reason why. Also, we would appreciate it if you mark your games as spoiler, and please don't spoil the content for your fellow gamers. If you came off, I would be more willing to be like, yeah, I got you. I'm not going to tell things. Like, a perfect example is the first thing that comes to my mind. Are you familiar with the game Warframe?
Yes.
Warframe has a very tight-knit community. You go into that game, nobody is going to tell you the major spoilers that are in that game. No one. And they're all extremely excited to see you experience those big moments in the game. I had two people, Mr. Soul Creek being one of them, Rango Steel being another one of them. Other people who, when I got to those big points in the game on stream, when I played some of it, people were ecstatic to see my reaction to this. That is how it's done right. Nobody in that community is gonna spoil that game for you. I could probably find somebody out there as a YouTube video about the spoilers. However, I'm not going to find somebody willingly in the game who wants to spoil it for people. They have created this, hey, let's keep this a secret so everybody can experience it. That's kind of what Atlas should be doing. Because then it'll make people talk to their friends, and it'll make their friends tell them, no, you gotta play it to really enjoy it. And then these people will go out and buy the game and play it.
Yeah.
That's what they need to be doing. That's the right way of doing it.
And this is definitely a type of game that is worth playing on your own, even if you do watch it, because there are different choices you can make. So it's not like this, one linear game with this one. Like, if it was Last of Us, I could understand not wanting to like show spoilers and shit, because that's a linear game. But like Persona is an RPG. You can play it however you want. So like, why not let people see how someone plays it and then go and play it on their own?
Yeah.
I would even go a step further and say that they could have done it so many more creative ways. Give people an incentive to try whatever service it is that they prefer. You know what I mean? Like, you can take it and spin it as positive, as opposed to being top-down authoritarian about it.
Yeah. I mean, that's my thing. Like the first two rules literally say what hardware or software I'm allowed to use.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, to my knowledge, what legitimate content creator uses PlayStation Share function?
Not a single one of them.
Like,
not one that comes to mind. There's probably.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's I can't foresee, because if you use the PlayStation Share function, you aren't capable of putting things on it that would protect you from somebody demanding it's taken down.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, when we use Twitch as content creators or YouTube as content creators, at least here in the US, we alter the stuff. We're putting our face cam on there, adding our own dialogue to it, and doing things like that, which allows us to fall under what's called fair use. If we don't have that ability to do something like that, and we're just playing the game without altering the content, overlays and stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly, Mr. Soul Creek. If we don't do that, then we are in violation of 99% of all copyright rules. And we can't use fair use to protect ourselves. That's why streaming exists today. If people were just making money of only seeing the game and only the game playing and only the dialogue from the game is the only thing being talked on or being spoken on the game, streamers would not be able to make money off it. The whole thing that protects us is fair use. And it seems like if this, what Atlas is doing, they try to make this the new quote unquote way of doing things with new game releases. I fear for content creators in general.
And I think this speaks to, like, I'm going to take it up a notch. And everything you just said makes me think about, Good Day Today mentioned it's their intellectual property.
Mm-hmm.
But I have kind of a philosophical argument there that what is a video game without the player? And each player, so under the terms of fair use, each player there's not going to be two people that play that game exactly the same way, right?
Well, right. So,
and as a streamer, as a content creator, which I appreciate that you keep using that word, because the game is a tool, but I'm creating my own content. This is my playthrough. This is my commentary. And that's my intellectual property, right?
I would agree. In the same way that if somebody plays baseball, the person who created the bat and the baseball doesn't own any money that the guy makes playing the game.
Right.
Like that, it's a game, but they're able to use it to make money because they are playing the game. Like I completely agree with you, Tara, but I also support the idea that if we didn't have some rules on what you can and can't do, then video game sales would drop dramatically, I think. Because a lot of people do play the games, especially in games like you guys mentioned, The Last of Us, who's a very linear, story-driven game. If people only sat there and watched the game played by an individual like they watch an HBO series, which we can segue into our next topic, they wouldn't buy the game, I don't think. And I think that's the thing that we need to find a balance between, is protecting the developers, because these are the artists who create these works of art. I'm a firm believer that video games are works of art. But we also need to, as content creators, to cover our own asses. And we need to find a balance there somewhere to say, hey, look, we want you guys to keep making games and make money so we can keep making content, create content, and make money ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, it's supposed to be a symbiotic relationship. And
yeah, and Mr. Shulkrick brings up a good point. In my opinion, it's still a product that I have licensed, and your copyright licensing protects you to a point.
Yeah.
But I think they're reaching here.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. And I think your philosophical point of view is 100% correct. Like, you have purchased this game, and it's no different than purchasing a baseball and a bat and a glove, and you are making money, at the same time promoting the game itself, so giving them advertising, by playing their game and doing it your own way, in the same way that an MLB player goes out and plays baseball, promotes baseball and the Major League Baseball franchise, and they get paid for doing it. What's the real difference?
Let's take another example. Let's take a board game.
Can
you imagine, like, if that was a thing, if we filmed ourselves playing board games and people watched that?
People do that.
People do
really?
that.
It's a thing.
That doesn't surprise me.
It's a thing.
But like, can you imagine if Monopoly was like, you're not allowed to do that? Like, you'd be like, okay,
yeah,
fuck off.
I mean, I could honestly see. I don't know if you guys know, but I used to be really big into tabletop, like Warhammer 40k and War Machine and Hordes. I have a whole shelf of models above that I painted put together. But the point is Games Workshop, the owner of 40k, is one of the most notorious lawyer-happy companies in the tabletop community. They're also the largest tabletop company in the tabletop.
Soul Creek, sorry.
You're allowed to play this board game, I don't know. But that's kind of, here's the crazy part, that's kind of what Games Workshop has done with some of their stuff. You laugh, but there was a company who, what were they called? They ran them into the ground. But they would make additional models. They didn't call them, like, for example, Eldar. They would call them Space Elves, or they didn't call them Orcs. They spelled it a different way. But they would make these different models that you could use in 40K in poses that 40K's models weren't in. So, the hobbyists like myself and everyone else would get these different models, and we would paint them and put them in our army and then play with them. Well, Games Workshop wasn't having that shit. They sued that company into the ground. They no longer exist, I don't think. They took them out. Then they started telling people, if you're going to videotape, or not videotape, but stream your games, you have to do it on Games Workshop Citadel tables. We don't want to see non-Games Workshop terrain on there.
Wow.
We don't want to see non-Games Workshop. I mean, they went absolutely dog shit crazy. Like, it really got to that point. And it affects the hobby negatively. I mean, Games Workshop is still the largest tabletop wargaming game out there, but they're not as large as they used to be. And other companies have monopolized on that hugely. Privateer Press, Fantasy Flight Games started putting out their own stuff. They have tainted basically that goodwill that they've built up for years, and it started going away because of the prices, but that's a whole other topic. But yeah, they just totally destroyed it. And that's what I feel like what Atlas is doing to Persona 5, because all I've ever heard about Persona, the Persona series, it is an amazing game series to play.
Yeah.
It is an experience that you have to have.
Yeah, so Bunny was just saying, just listening to their rules makes me not want to buy the game or even stream it. Mm-hmm. And for me, I'm not going to stream it, because, hey, Rango, what's up? Thanks for the follow.
Whoop, whoop.
I'm not going to stream it. I'm not dealing with that bullshit. I'm not going to tiptoe my way around streaming a fucking game like that. But, but the thing for me is that I'm torn, because the game really is so good. Mm-hmm. And as much as I don't want to fucking support these guys with my money, like, I love the game that much.
Well, and here's my thing. If I buy the game, and I'll tell Atlas right now, you know what? For respect to 22's channel, I'm not going to say certain words. But you know what? I am going to tell Atlas this right now. If I buy the game, I'm getting it from GameStop, so they don't see a dime. First of all, and second,
Persona
of all,
5.
Yeah, it's Persona 5. Second of all, I'm not even sure if I'm going to buy it anyway, because 90% of my gaming is done on stream, or if I'm gaming, I'm creating content 90% of the time.
Yeah.
I don't have the time between life and family and farm and then streaming to just take a couple hours of the day every day and just stream. Or not stream, I mean, and just game. I just don't. So if I'm gaming, I'm streaming or creating content. I don't have that time. And I'm not going to give them my money if they're going to tell me what platform I can play it on and what, hardware I can use to create the content and what software I can use to create the content. I mean, I'm sorry, 22. Fuck you, Atlas. Like 100%. Fuck you. Like,
Wait.
that's. That's mind-boggling.
I say the fuck word.
Hold on. Nerdy, did you just apologize for cursing on my stream?
I mean, a little bit. Because I'm being super negative toward a specific company.
Well, fuck off with your apologies.
We do not accept. Not accepted.
The fuck kind of show do you think this is, man?
Next time you need to honk instead of
That's right.
curse.
There you go. Well, actually, I have a chicken that honks. I've got hey. So
Yes! I have
that's
to have
great.
one of those.
That's awesome.
My wife got it for me. We were on our 10-year anniversary walking through a mall, and I saw it at a toy store, and I was like, I have to have it. And that was 2 years ago, and it's sitting next to my desk.
By the way, if I know we mentioned, like, you know, the whole idea of a game like Last of Us, and if someone watches it, they feel like they don't need to play it.
Mm-hmm.
For The Last of Us in particular, if you're not playing the game, you're fucking wrong. Okay?
I agree.
Because
I never finished it.
Well, fucking finish it then.
I don't even know if I own it anymore.
I don't even know how to talk to you right now.
So here's the thing. I can't even count. I would say at least I've played through it at least 8 times, if not more than 10, but at least 8.
Mm-hmm.
I have never skipped a cutscene in all of my playthroughs.
That is saying something.
Wow, that's impressive. Bunny Fufu says she needs to go play it. Also need to start.
If anyone is in chat right now and hasn't played Last of Us, go fucking play it as soon as the show is over.
Yeah,
and if you don't have it, go fucking buy it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
well,
I just think I think that, and here's what I think. Perhaps why this stings a little bit is that I don't think they're giving this community any credit whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I don't think Persona would have ever gotten to the where it's hailed as this beacon of just of artistic spiritual release, you know, in the community without the content creators. Yeah. I don't think it would. I agree with you. I don't think it would have ever gotten there without the community of content creators that have been behind this game from the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which
Bunny Fufu gets yelled at for not playing a game.
You don't own a PS3 or 4, or you would. Okay, I guess that's. I'll accept that excuse.
Fair. That's fair. If you don't own one, it's fair.
But go get one. Just kidding.
I will lend you my PS3 to play it.
Well, I think this is a nice segue. We're doing good with segues today. Good job,
Speaking
everyone.
of Last of Us.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Wait, hold on. Soul Creek, why do you hate Naughty Dog? That's an interesting comment.
Isn't that Last of Us?
Yeah. Last of Us, Uncharted.
See, I'm looking at the chat between Soul Creek and Good Day. I think it's really fascinating to see. And Good Day has already made it very clear that he's on our side of the whole streaming thing. He's just like, hey, but these are the rules. It's their right.
Yeah, I mean, I get his argument. Like, some of those rules I understand.
I agree with them wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they don't have the right, and I'm saying that they can't set rules. I am saying, however, I think their rules are ridiculous, over the top, and stupid. I can say that.
Did they do Sleeping Dogs? I don't know.
I don't remember. That's the end of one of my favorite games created serious games. To create serious games.
What?
I don't know. I'm going.
Okay, well, you tell us that. We're going to talk about The Last of Us.
Yeah,
yes,
let's segue into that.
TV series.
The Jack franchise.
Oh, the Jack franchise.
Okay.
Jack and Daxter, yeah, that's another one.
So HBO. So what I didn't know, but I just learned.
Yeah, we told this Tara, she almost had her head almost blew off.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited about this. Is that they have been trying to adapt the game into a film since like 2014, but apparently that wasn't working, and I can see why. You know, it's a lot of story.
It's a lot of story. If it was a film series, maybe.
Yeah.
But.
So they've settled on an HBO series, which I like for a lot of reasons. One, it's not going to be real censored. You know what I mean? It gives a lot of. I mean, I'm giving them some credit there. HBO is a.
My only disappointment with HBO is that now I have to get HBO.
Yeah.
No, I have HBO. You're good. I've got you covered.
Okay.
I mean, we're not sharing any sort of subscription service.
Hold on, Tara. They might put out a rule saying you're not allowed to talk about it or show it to other people. You have to watch it in a dark room with all the windows closed.
Naughty Dog wouldn't do that to me.
Look at I can hear the fear in her voice a little bit.
Right?
You wouldn't do that to me, right?
That's not a funny joke.
They're supposed to be the good guys.
So, a couple things. HBO series. They're actually working on it with the writer and creative director of the game, Neil Druckmann, and Craig Mazin, the creator of the Chernobyl series.
Which I know nothing about.
I don't either, and it actually is making me kind of want to watch it just to see.
The Chernobyl series I know about. I haven't watched it, but it's literally it follows the events of the Chernobyl meltdown. It's actually supposed to be really good.
I've heard it's really good. I never watched it.
What's up, Leroy? There's a lot going on.
So much going on.
People are having their own discussions, so
it's fine.
You're gonna kind of just have to. That's what we're here for. You just got to jump in and
We've created an environment for people to discuss. Untitled Nerd Show is done with
it. We did just finish talking about Persona though, which you and I talked about on my stream a couple of days ago.
And then I guess the last person involved of note is one of the executive producers, Carolyn Strauss, was also one of the producers on Game of Thrones. That's not a huge comfort to me because I don't know how involved she was in season 8. But
I haven't watched season 8 because of all the negativity.
Yeah, I digress. I'm not even going down that road right now.
Fuck season 8.
Yeah.
And I don't even watch it.
There's some anger there.
I don't even watch the show, but fuck season 8.
No, it broke my heart. Actually, I let me take that back. The first 3 episodes of season 8 are everything I wanted them to be. Just stop there. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
But I need the $200.
Was the 3rd episode that big battle?
Yes.
Okay.
That was pretty much completely dark. Just have to kind of listen your way through it. But anyway,
So anyway,
what else you got? What else?
Let's see. It's telling me a lot of things I already know. It says it's one of the best-selling video games of all time.
Well, no shit.
Well, Last of Us, yeah, I think it is. It is one of the best. Wonder what the best video games is. Pong, maybe.
Right.
I mean,
Tetris.
But here's my thought on that. So, Tara, are you excited to watch it?
Yes.
Are you? Do you have hope for good things?
I really do, and because they're talking about Druckmann is talking about sitting down with the film guy Craig, and he was very excited about the approach to the narrative. It sounds like Craig loves this game, like we love this game, and so I'm. It gives me hope that it will hold a candle.
I think the only thing I'm kind of I don't know what the word is. The thing that kind of scares me, I guess, is that they try to do more with it. Because I don't know how long the series is gonna be.
So take their maybe their own creative rights on it and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I don't know how long they expect the series to be, and I think it, in my personal opinion, I think it just needs to be what it is, what the game was.
Yeah, but would you want and this kind of comes back. I mean, it kind of intertwines what we were just talking about. If they made a movie that was exactly the story of the game, then people wouldn't go out and play the game.
Well, some people are never gonna play the game. It's for an audience that has no interest in playing the game. So it's
there. It is. I was waiting for it in chat. Leroy,
fuck movies about games. We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
Yeah. There's no game movie that is good. Again, we're gonna get into that.
We're gonna get into that.
Well, that's why I was asking. So I was asking her if she was excited about it.
Yeah, right. For non-gamers, that's the point I'm trying to make.
Well,
but what? What are you arguing right now?
I don't know exactly, but what I want to say is that it is a beautiful story, and I'm excited that it's being told on a larger scale.
So, yeah, one of the major things that I'm kind of thinking of specifically is the beginning of the game and that 20-year time jump.
Mm-hmm.
My worry is that that's such an enticing thing to want to tell something in that 20-year time span.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a story that needs to be told. Because the whole beauty of Joel's story in the game is that it's told from the present as it's happening, and you don't need to know the backstory.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that worries me.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of why shows like not Last of Us, The Walking Dead, the first couple seasons were so good because you saw it happening in the now.
Yeah.
Like you kind of saw like the first, you kind of saw the leading up, but you saw that happening in the now, and it's like, what the hell's going on? Experience. So, I mean, and I know I'm making parallels with Last of Us, and I'm sure you as a Last of Us fan is probably ready to punch me in the because I've heard that a lot from people. Last of Us is nothing like Walking.
It is not. It's not.
It is.
It's not, but it doesn't have to be. I think anytime you are moving from one media to another, and Leroy just mentioned it, books made into movies. Anytime you're switching media, there's opportunity to fuck it up or to disappoint people who are hardcore fans of that original media, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, in books, when you read a book, I'm a reader first, okay? So you get inside of the characters' heads. You are told thoughts and emotions. That's not the same type of storytelling that a movie is. So it's going to be different.
You're also going to, when you're reading a book, and I'm a huge reader myself, and I've seen books that I've read made into TV shows or into movies, and you have a mental image of what the character is, of what that scene is, of what happened. And a lot of times, correct me if I'm wrong, but that the movie, whether it be because of, impossibilities or, the technology's not there yet, they can't portray what you saw in your brain.
Yep.
And being that person having that perfect picture in your brain and seeing that on the show, on the TV and going, that's not what I envisioned, is going to affect it negatively. Some people are able to look past that. And sometimes it works the opposite, though. I mean, if you look at 20 years ago or 30 years ago of what Tony Stark looked like versus what we expect Tony Stark to look like now, there's a huge, huge difference in the two. And if you showed the two of them and two different people, they would point at Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark all day long. That's Tony Stark to them. And it doesn't matter of what people had imagined him to be before now. And it's kind of funny how people are freaking about the new Avengers game and how Tony Stark doesn't look just like Robert Downey Jr. and they're absolutely losing their mind. They're calling him like I think Angry Joe called him the discount dollar store Avengers.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of comments about that. By the way, Rango, I just saw your comment about MGS3. I am totally in agreement with you, but that's
What's up?
That's like a personal thing for us, I guess.
MGS3?
Metal Gear Solid 3.
Oh.
That's personally one of my favorite games ever.
I mean, to be clear, but so my thing is though, and Leroy brought up, video game movies and TV shows. In the past, 20 years ago, would you guys have been as excited about Last of Us being made into a TV show? Or would you have been, I'm saying, like a game like Last of Us, or would you have been even more apprehensive?
I don't know, because 20 years ago, video games didn't really have the type of narrative that they do now.
Well, okay, but I'm saying, say The Last of Us, they had a Last of Us game, and we're 20 years in the past now, and The Last of Us still exists. Would you still be as excited? I guess the point I'm trying to make is, there's this stigma on video game movies and TV shows being bad. And I think it's changed. Do you guys agree?
Yeah. Rango, I like the fact that you said 80s Last of Us, because that's actually 40 years ago, but that's pretty much the mindset I'm still in. Is that the 80s was 20 years ago?
It was.
Yeah.
That checks out.
But yeah, so I think that stigma's changed a lot, because you said you saw Sonic here recently. And how was that?
I enjoyed it. It was a fun movie. And I think the thing with Sonic, though, is that, Sonic never had, it's this freaking, engrossing story to it. It was just, a fun character in a fun series of games. And that's all the movie was. It was just a really fun, enjoyable movie.
Now, we'll take the best comparison. The Sonic movie compared to the Mario Brothers movie.
Oh my god. I don't even know how.
Do you remember the Mario Brothers movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm saying, look at the difference and the change of things. I mean, we get these TV shows even now, like The Witcher. Granted, it's based off the books, but the video games have made it famous. So people know it as a video game. You're getting these movies and stuff that are actually good. They're actually good. I've heard rumors that they're going to do an Uncharted movie.
I've heard that, yeah.
I am excited about that. I never played the Uncharted games, but I love Indiana Jones. I love Tomb Raider. I love those types of genres. So I think I would really like a movie that's about Nathan Drake. I think I would be great. I think I would something, and with today's day and age, I think it would be good. Versus back in the 90s when you got your best video game movie was Mortal Kombat, and that was because it was so cringy it was good.
Yeah.
That's really it was so bad it was entertaining.
And then there was Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There were so many video game movies, and all of them failed. Even in the relative recent, there's been a lot of video game movies that were not good.
Assassin's Creed?
Movie.
I was thinking of Assassin's Creed. I haven't seen that, but I heard a lot of bad things.
Seen the Assassin's Creed. Well, you saw the Doom one, right? With it had Dwayne Johnson in it.
Oh, I didn't watch the whole thing.
It was it was bad. It's really bad. The Resident Evil movies, yes, they were not good in my opinion. They just weren't.
So I was trying to see if there's anything we know about the series yet to include. Have they cast anyone yet?
Okay.
And if they have, they're not saying.
Which gives people more time to throw out their own fucking suggestions.
So then there was fan suggestions, which I'll talk about here in just a second. But this article made me laugh because it said there's no news on who will play Joel or Ellie, but we would not bet on Ellen Page because she accused them of ripping off her likeness for the video game.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
Wow, did she really?
Yeah, Ellen Page had this whole fucking shit about how Ellie looks just like me, and they ripped off my likeness and tried to make a whole case about. I don't fucking know.
She copyrighted her face. Oh no.
But I saw a few fan suggestions for Ellie and Joel, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't recognize any of their suggestions for.
They're not showing faces
for Ellie.
No,
they are showing faces, but I don't know who they are.
Honestly, I think Ellen Page is just mad that she turned up in a fucking David Cage game instead of Last of Us.
Yeah, she should be mad.
I mean,
so here's my favorite. Well, there's 3 suggestions for Joel in this article, and I'm just going to go ahead and say I would be 100% okay with any of these. First, the guy who played Jaime Lannister in Game of Thrones.
Don't know.
There's his beard.
That's fine.
Then we've got Hugh Jackman.
Ooh, Hugh Jackman would be great.
I think he could do that.
I mean, the acting part, yes.
Yep.
I just have to see the face with the right facial hair.
These were the suggestions.
Okay, yeah.
Put the pictures up on the thing.
Oh.
Can you do that?
She's looking up on her laptop, so let me do it on this computer.
It's Games Radar.
Let's just try that search.
Games Radar, and it's Last of Us cast? Something?
What my search was Last of Us TV show cast.
The fans already have an idea.
Where's Games Radar?
No, it was like
there's Team Hugh Jackman. Okay, I think I'm in it.
So then last but not least, this is my personal favorite because as AD knows, I am in love with Joel. Like truly. Gerard Butler.
I was just looking at that. Gerard Butler would be great.
Yeah.
I love that suggestion. Now, I know how these things go, and I'm not like putting all my chickens or eggs or whatever you put in baskets. I'm not doing that, but
Sean, yes. Leroy, we have a friend named Sean, so that became a thing for us when we played Heavy Rain.
Everybody in the office thought we lost our minds because we would just randomly yell out, "Sean!"
Yes. David Cage. Cops are bad. Bad love stories. Man always saves woman. Woman is helpless.
Woman is irresistibly attracted to
awkward sex scenes, and yes, racism real hard.
Racism, sexism.
Here's my take on the suggestions. While I think both Hugh Jackman and Gerard Butler would both be great.
Oh, here's a good picture. Hugh Jackman from Logan.
Yeah, yep. I was gonna say they both would be great. I don't want them.
You don't want either of those?
You want someone new?
I want someone new.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not because I don't want to support these actors. I think they're both great actors. Great people, blah blah blah. Yada. My thing is you get these characters. Like you look at Hugh Jackman, you think Wolverine.
Yeah.
You know, you think Gerard Butler, and you think
Leonidas.
Yeah, there you go, Leonidas.
Yes, I do, but that doesn't bother me at all.
Right, I know, but you're gonna see that person.
Yeah.
Like, if I want a new franchise to really hook me in, I want to see new people.
Yeah, I understand that. We want a Joel.
We want him to really be Joel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, like you look at Robert Downey Jr. and like a lot of old people will like maybe recognize him for his other movies, but he became became Tony Stark.
Like
that is
evidence of that is Tony.
Tony. Yes, there you go.
Robert Downey Jr. makes visits to kids, and he doesn't have to dress up as Iron Man. He just goes as him, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's Tony Stark."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's. I want to bring something up that I didn't clear with you guys beforehand, so
Well, so I just want you ladies to know that if we do see if it is Gerard, you do know that Joel has no shirtless scenes, right?
Well, he doesn't in the video game, and this is where the magic of cinema.
Okay,
there it is.
I'll even take a thin wife beater. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Whatever. She's hoping for that he has to run through the rain take off your shirt because that rain's infected.
Precisely.
And he's just stripped down to like nothing.
Precisely. Or he's like running through the woods and like it, his shirt rips off. Whatever. I'm just throwing things out there. How would that
even happen? How would that even happen?
Well, it could like tear on catch on like a branch, and
the entire shirt.
Well.
Or
a girl can dream, right?
Or he's running through a crowd of infected, and they just rip at his clothes, and.
Or I would volunteer as tribute to be on the show and rip.
I was gonna say, or Tara gets on the show and she walks.
Oh yeah, the impalement. Yeah, Soul Creek mentioned the impalement scene.
It's true.
That's a good excuse to take off his shirt.
Yep.
But he'll also have a big bar in his ab.
Tara doesn't care.
Fine.
Okay.
Tara doesn't care. She can work around the bar.
So speaking of characters and large actors, okay? And by large, I mean like famous, not
like well hung
size.
Wait, which large were you talking about? AD's like well hung.
I don't know. I'm not with him. So I just saw an article on my alarm just went off, and I'm taking a moment to scroll through Facebook. Christian Bale is being cast as the villain in the new Thor movie.
What?
What villain?
I don't know.
They didn't give a name.
But is this the Thor movie where the Thor becomes a woman?
It's I'm sorry, what?
Thor doesn't become a woman. The woman becomes Thor.
It's called Thor something and something.
Love and
Thunder.
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder, yeah.
Thor Love and Thunder villain. It just says Christian Bale is the villain. Capital T, capital V.
The villain.
The villain.
Like, here's my thing. And I know I'm going to hit on a subject that a lot of people controversial. Because you guys brought up this movie.
He's intergalactic.
That's
what we also know about him.
I don't want to see them do any more Marvel movies. I feel like they're going to fuck it up. And by fucking it up, I feel like they're going to change things in order to cater to certain loud individuals in the audience groups. I don't think that they need to go past the Infinity Wars. I think the end was the end. I think that was a perfect ending.
Honestly, I do think Endgame was a good end, but at the
end is in the name.
Yeah, but at the same time, I am also excited to see where Spider-Man goes, because we still haven't fully gotten into Spider-Man.
So, rumor has it he's going to be playing Gore, the God Butcher.
Okay.
I don't know. Christian Bale doesn't come off as a...
Gore is a non-humanoid alien who has made it his mission to kill all of the universe's gods after his faith was shattered following the deaths of his wife and children.
There it is. See, I'm watching chat, and there it is. There's the things I was touching on. How they're changing characters to female characters.
Well, yeah. But they did, to be fair, they did release a comic.
I didn't like it in the comics.
Where Thor was a woman.
I didn't like it in the comics, and here's why. And this is something that really irritates me, because they want to change characters in order to cater to certain groups for the sake of diversity.
Yeah.
And it bugs the hell out of me. And the comics have done it, and the TV shows are doing it, everybody's doing it, and it really irritates me, because all it does says to me is, hey, look, this character I love, you guys are going to change him to something else to make somebody else love him, when they could have loved him the way he was, and it's something you preach anyway, first of all. Second of all you're saying to me and that other person is, you can't create a character and make them big enough to be on par with this person, so you're going to write off the backs of what has already been created off of what this character was. Like, go create a new character. How hard is that?
That's the whole... that's kind of... Now that you mention it, and I don't want to go too far off, but that brings up the whole thing with Disney and their diversity in the live action characters, particularly with Ariel.
Thank you.
And like, it's like, why do you need to make Ariel black instead of just creating a new black Disney princess?
That
Or
is the cutest thing I have
the
ever
ones
read
that they've
anybody.
come out with, Tiana, which is Princess and
The Frog. Yeah.
story.
I would like to point out that Evil Bunny Fufu's infant child is having the conversation with us, and it's the most cute, adorable thing I can envision right now.
Oh my
I
god,
love it.
we need to get her on the mic.
Yep.
I know. Get her up.
Mic that baby up.
Spot. Mic her up. We need to have her input right now.
Well,
yeah,
and here's
I
the
agree.
thing. There's the Black Widow backstory. There's, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many other...
There are so many characters that you could explore and make them known as a strong female character or a strong black character or even a strong gay character. Like, I don't care. You know, I will love the character for who they are when they make them. What I care about is when they take a character, an established character, and change them to cater to an audience that says, well, we don't have any representation.
Leroy. Yes.
Give me a weak, smart character. Yes! I want a nerdy character who has a goose or a chicken as a sidekick. Give it to me now. I'm underrepresented. Like I don't know. Like,
I mean, the biggest worry here is if they ever go the route of making Captain America and Bucky lovers, because that's what everybody wants.
I don't care. I don't care. That part doesn't even bother me so much because I mean, Captain America really didn't have any true love interest in the comic books. He was too pure for that.
Yeah.
Like, but
well, I love the story of the girl that he was in love with, and then she lived her life, and he got to, you know what I mean? Like, why do we have to? Why can't that just be?
It was.
You know.
I mean,
but now that Falcon is Captain America, what if him and Bucky turn out to be lovers?
Well, good for them.
I don't care. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is they change the characters for the sake of these things. Yeah. Like you said, they're making Ariel an African American. I want to say black. Is it black? Is that even politically correct anymore to say black?
I don't like African American. I don't like Asian American. I don't like all these fucking qualifiers. And I don't want to get into politics or anything.
Yeah, we'll say she's making Ariel a dark-skinned individual when in
a person of color.
There we go. Thank you. That's a great way of putting it. If she's making Ariel a person of color, when in reality, the original story is I think with Dutch. It was written by a European nation. The original story comes from a Northern Europe individual. So it was obviously written at the idea of, hey, this is what this person will look like in our world that we've created, this character. And if you want to look at it scientifically, let's be real science about this. If you want to be scientific
about mermaids, just to clarify.
Are you talking about how she should be pale white?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that would be the way.
That's why I'm pale. I'm really a mermaid.
You really you've got the red hair. You're actually Ariel in disguise.
I see it now. Every time she tries to sing, I'm like, damn. What if she actually had a voice?
Yeah, I sold my singing voice for my legs.
Fun fact: my wife, she used to sing me Little Mermaid songs to get me to fall asleep when we first got married.
That's amazing.
She did. When we first got married, we had to be apart for like the first 7 months of marriage because army stuff. But yeah, I hate it. I don't like it. I don't like how they change things for that purpose alone. Like, it just feels dirty. It feels dirty, and it feels going back to the Marvel stuff. My son or my daughter don't care what color the heroes are. But then when they change them blatantly, they ask the question, why did they make this character this? And it makes it that I have to have that conversation with them.
Yeah.
You know, whereas they could have just let my son and my daughter appreciate that hero and associate their, dreams with that hero and whatever, and create a new character to be that could be, someone else's hero that they can look up to. I don't understand it. Why can't we just make more characters?
And here's the thing about, because we're talking about, just create a new character instead of changing the current ones. The Princess and the Bride was not, or the Princess and the Frog.
It was a great movie.
The Princess and the Frog was not a big hit, but
I thought it was good.
I mean, it didn't get the type of attention that other movies get these days.
Yeah, but I thought it was good.
It was. I mean, it being a good movie doesn't.
Well, what I'm saying is it obviously what was her name, Tiana?
Yeah,
whatever.
Tiana. Yeah.
She didn't get pushed as hard as all these other Disney princesses.
As Elsa, for example, who was on every freaking cereal box, tennis shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it's whatever. What else we got?
Yeah.
Do we want to? Do you have anything?
I've got plenty of stuff. If you guys want to keep going.
Well, I was just gonna move on to like 2020 or March games, since it's such a big month.
Yeah, because we're spinning our wheels in this one. We were all in agreement. This is bad. Stop doing it.
Yeah.
Media, stop. It's bad. Okay, it's bad.
Quit doing what you're doing.
Okay. We can move into that. Well, I wanted to real quick before we moved into that, because it's a hot topic. I had two hot topics I wanted to talk about, but one of them I wanted to get your take because I didn't get to play it. Your take on Final Fantasy VII's demo. How did you feel about it? Because you played it, not me.
Yeah. I don't really know.
Did you play the original?
I played the original, yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, I loved the demo. I don't really know what else there is to say, really. I didn't really have any negatives about it. I think it looked great.
How was the transition from, like, in combat-wise? Because that's what everybody seems to talk about. How was the transition from going from turn-based combat to a live-action combat?
I think it worked perfectly fine. You have basically your sorry, I lost my train of thought. You have it's like real-time combat, like modern Final Fantasy games or Kingdom Hearts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then you still have kind of a semi pause menu where you can choose your commands.
Okay, so is it like Dragon Age then, where it's the pausable real-time combat?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So like basic attacks are just real-time combat, and then when you go into your commands menu, it kind of, I don't know if it actually pauses outright, but it like slows down the combat. So
okay. Okay. But so you felt satisfied with what they're doing?
Yeah, I mean everything was like so fluid from regular traversal to combat. You could switch characters on the fly, and it was like this cool dynamic animation, which was really cool. So you can go back and forth between controlling who you want, and the other character just goes on autopilot basically.
Okay. Now, I am curious. With Final Fantasy, I am obviously a JRPG noob. I'm very new to the JRPG stuff, present day JRPG stuff.
Yeah.
Because last JRPGs I really got into was J Cocoon and Legend Dragoon, which are like 30 years old at this point, almost as old as I am. But anyway, my point is as a person who's new to JRPGs, will I be able to handle the combat and everything? Is it something that I will be able to do and understand?
How are you with just action games in general? Like, I mean, have you played any of the other Final Fantasies, like 15 or?
No, I've never been. I think I played like one Final Fantasy partway through and then tried to play another one, and then it was like completely different. I had no idea what was going on. I was like, nope, this is just too nope. And I wrote it off for a long time. Just recently, I've been trying to get back into it and see what it's all about.
What about? Okay, so what's like what would you say is the most intricate combat system that you have experienced?
Oh, the most intricate one, Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Okay, but that's still turn-based, right?
No.
Oh, it's not?
No. You Xenoblade Chronicles 2, it's really... It is one of the most in-depth combat systems I've ever seen in a game, where you literally... It's all live action. You have a team of 3. You have blades that you can switch out, so each person can have up to 3 blades. All the blades have different... what are the things called? Elements that you use that bring different weapons to you while you're using them. You have to combine different specials with different elements of other people's blades and tie them at a certain time. At the same time, making sure you break and topple the guys. You're like, it's blah.
Yeah.
It's so much. So that would be the most intricate one I know.
Okay.
Is it that intricate or is it less?
It doesn't, well, so far, I mean, it's just a demo. You obviously are really limited in what abilities you have and the different types of magic and stuff, so, but I don't think it gets that complicated.
Okay.
It's more, I'm looking at Xenoblade, it's like a video of combat right now. It seems, I mean, it is real time, you're moving around, but it's definitely slower. Final Fantasy's combat, I would say, is more like a fast-paced action game, but obviously not Devil May Cry type of action, but you're moving around a lot more. And like I said, you can still kind of pause the game to choose commands and stuff. I don't think it should be that hard to get into.
Is there like a loot and inventory system where you change out gear? That's a big positive for me.
Yeah, so I haven't seen it yet in the remake, but I know in the original game you would, find different weapons for different characters at specific. It's not like a random loot system. So like, this weapon is at this location and you just happen to find it or you don't. Same thing with like magic. So you have like materia, which are basically just orbs of magic, and you put that into your gear or into your weapon, and it allows you to use that magic. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay. By the way, Bunny Fufu, that video is adorable. May I share it with the other guys over there? I might send it to them so it's adorable.
I'm gonna have to watch it later because
it's just a little teeny tiny 12-second recording of her baby talking with us on the show. Yeah. It's adorable.
It was cute.
Oh, did she send it to you guys?
It's in Discord.
Yeah, she sent it to Discord, but I can't click off of it because then I'll.
Yeah, you guys are in my Discord. I don't know why I didn't even. I'm an idiot. Okay, well, it sounds like it's good. I might look into it. I'm just not a huge fan of Final Fantasy stuff in general, but I'm getting into JRPGs more.
Yeah,
Xenoblade's kind of pulling me in. I was going to check out Persona 5.
It would have been great for you. It would have been great to see you stream something that you've never played before.
I know,
but
whatever. So the last topic before we get into game releases that I wanted to bring up, because it is kind of getting into the whole controversial developers versus consumers versus kind of the theme we've had going on with this show, is the GOG refund policy that I told you about.
Oh yeah. Real quick, Leroy, we went over all the restrictions.
Can you post that link in
on
chat?
Yeah,
there's some crazy restrictions, Leroy, on in a nutshell, they basically are telling content creators that we can't create
streams. It's basically not even worth trying to work around it. So
it just doesn't allow us to do it. Sadly, Discord won't allow large file, so it's tiny, but she's talking like this for a long time now. Well, I am glad we got your baby talking. We have to get like a little baby cam to have her on the show one day. It'll be great. What were we talking about? I lost my train of thought. GOG, that's right. So GOG, if you guys are not familiar with them, it's like Galaxy Games. They're a platform on PC, like Steam. And what they have done now, which a lot of consumers are happy about, is you now have the option to refund a game up to 30 days from the purchase, with no restrictions of how long you've had the game open, whether or not you've opened it, whether or not you played it, whether or not you've completed it. You have the option to do that now. Sounds great as a consumer. The devs aren't too happy about it. There are a lot of devs, especially indie devs, who are pissed about this. And I think to some degree with good cause. Now, the GOG, the actual policy, if I can pull it up, or maybe you can pull it up, AD, you can probably find it, but faster than I can get it in the chat if you want to share it with me.
What is it?
The GOG refund policy. But the actual policy, they have a list of rules, and they even end it with, don't abuse it, don't be that guy. Nobody likes that guy. That's like literally the last part of their stuff. So they don't want people to take advantage of it. But developers are, I think, legit in their concern of saying, hey, look, especially indie developers who can't risk losing this money, are like, this is bullshit, and considering, I think, pulling off a GOG entirely. As a consumer, I think this is great. I mean, there are a lot of games where I've opened them up, tried it, closed it, opened it up, tried it, closed it, where I've been like, okay, the same image isn't going to be for me. Let me return it and put it towards something else. But I can see the potential for abuse. I mean, how do you guys feel about that?
It's okay. I got it up on screen. Updated policy lets you refund product up to 30 days after purchase. Blah blah blah. Like you said. We're monitoring the effects of the current update to make sure no one is using this policy to hurt developers that put their time and heart into making great games. We may refuse refunds in such individual cases.
But how would it's going to be really hard for them?
I honestly don't think it's a good idea, and I don't care how it affects me as a consumer. Yes, there are some times when I buy a game digitally and regret it.
I've done that.
Yeah. Specifically, since I started streaming, there were a lot of games I tried to play, and it's like PUBG being one of them. Like, pay for that shit. Haven't touched it ever since.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does. I don't see how that benefits in the big picture with the consumers, where someone can basically finish a game within the 30 days and then just return it.
Yeah, and I get that. I do. I think the policy, is too liberal towards the consumer. And I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think something along the lines of Steam's policy would be more appropriate. Because Steam has a very good policy where if you had the game open for more than 2 hours, you can't refund. But if you had it open for less than that time, and it's within like 2 weeks or something, you can return it because, 2 weeks, say you buy a game on like a Sunday night, I really want to play this game, and shit happens, and you're not able to play it for like 10 days because, whatever.
Yeah.
And you finally open it, and you play it for 45 minutes, and you say, this game fucking sucks. I think that's fair to be able to say, I want to return it for this reason. 30 days, no question asked, no long, doesn't matter how long you've been playing it. I think GOG, while it sounds great for the consumer, I think it is making a big mistake here, and it's going to chase developers away from their platform. And to be entirely honest, I think GOG is, out of the 3 big platforms that there are, in my opinion, Epic, Steam, and GOG, I like GOG the most because they don't use any...
Because they don't what?
They don't use any anti-pirating software.
Oh yeah.
You know, so they don't do that. And that's another concern that these developers have. They don't use any anti-pirating. So somebody could download a game for the 30-day period and basically copy it and pirate it.
So interesting. I decided to check this out on Twitter just to see if anybody was sharing some interesting opinions. And one guy says that he feels like he supports this because the Steam refund policy has already shown that these type of refund policies cause a very low percentage of refunds.
Mm-hmm.
And their rationale for that is if people who want to rip you off will just pirate the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's pretty easy to do, I'm assuming. I don't know.
That's true that if they wanted to rip you off, they would just get the game for free, but this opens up a new avenue for people to rip you off.
And here's the thing, for the everyday, like let's say that the borderline asshole, you know, me. If I could, and I'm not saying that I would, but you know, the thought would cross my mind, I'm not gonna lie. If I could get a game, beat it, and return it, and then get another game and beat it and return it, and get another game and beat it and return it, all within that 30-day period, as long as I get the game within that 30-day time span, and save myself some money, I mean, the thought would cross my mind, and there are people out there who won't get pirated games because they don't want to break the law, and they don't want to be, you know, quote unquote, bad.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, it's not even.
They'll do this and be like, "Well, I'm following the rules, so I'm a good person."
Yeah. So, like, you know, even if you're not an asshole who regularly pirates games, this gives the good guys the idea now that they can get their money back. So
yeah. And
I'm just sharing. That was not my opinion.
Who's Jeff Vogel? That sounds familiar.
At Spiderwebsoft. His handle. I don't know if that gives you.
I know Jeff Vogel, but I can't place
it. Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Founded Spiderweb Software. He wrote Exile, Geneforge, Avedon, and Avernum.
Okay, I don't know.
How do you spell Jeff Vogel?
Vogel.
See his face back.
But somebody else pointed out, and I think this is Rami Ishmael.
Mm-hmm.
They have a blue check, so I'm assuming they're somebody. 30 days is a lot to evaluate a game, and more than almost all games take to complete if you play them for an hour daily.
I say 7 days. Maybe 7 days might be a good.
I mean, if you push just story, I mean, most games that the length of the game is increased by side quests and filler and stuff. Like, I mean, not bashing it. I love my question mark maps. I love them, but at the same time, if you like for The Witcher, if I would have just done only story and just pushed only story, I would have The Witcher done.
Yeah.
So,
but I think a good compromise to this refund policy would be 7 days, because that if you really want to get your money back, you got to rush to beat the game in a week.
Or how about not even that? If you have the game open for more than 2 hours.
Yeah, that too.
You know, there are very few games out there that you are going to be able to beat within 2 hours. Like, there's just I can't think of one off the unless you want to get Pong for a night of fucking fun with your friends and then refund to the next day.
You could probably speedrun Untitled Goose Game in less than 2 hours.
Okay, I mean, but you understand what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah.
Just I would say the 30-day thing, because I can see examples where stuff like this could be beneficial to the consumer, and the first thing that pops into my head is, say a family member surprises you and buys you via gift for Christmas or something, you know. And I know digitally that's hard to do, but I'm just saying, you know. Hypothetically, I can see how that could be beneficial, you know, because then you're like, oh, you don't like this game or you didn't, okay, and it's been 22 days, so you can still refund it and get a different game if you like, you know what I mean? Like,
somebody said that the developers that are the loudest about the new policy are the same ones that botched their previous releases and left them to rot.
I mean, that's probably an accurate statement. I mean, to some degree, I would think that people who make poor video games and try to hook people with a poor product are least excited about this. But at the same time, I think like AD said, we've all been burned before. We've all had it happen. Got a game that we just did not like. And before the GameStop days, when you got a game that you didn't like on like a console or something, tough titties. Like you were fucked. And now that we're in the digital time span, it's a really long period. I agree. It's so long, 30 days. There needs to be some sort of restriction here. And I'm kind of on the side of the developers, even if the shitty developers are on that side too. Like it protects those people from having advantage taken of them. As a consumer, I would rather have I would have a more restrictive refund policy if I knew that these consumers these developers weren't being taken advantage of, so I got more games. More games is always good. So that's how I look at it.
It also seems like their reaction is due in part to the fact that they were not told about this ahead of time.
Yeah.
That was the other thing. A lot of them, it was just sprung on them. Like, it came out of nowhere. Fairly recently, and I was actually watching Code Carnage stream, and he's a big advocate of GOG. And he didn't even know of it. One of his viewers said, "Hey, they just released a new policy, 30 days, and then you get it to refund it." And he was like, "Really?" And he looked into it, and he was like, "Oh, that's awesome." I mean, obviously, he has to say that on stream because he's a GOG. He's sponsored by them and stuff like that. But I'm sure even he probably sat back and said, "Dude, people are going to take advantage of this."
Yeah.
And there are people in his chat saying, that's huge. People are going to take advantage of this. And I fully agree. People are going to take advantage of this, and it's going to do nothing but hinder the developers. And they should have told them. But this isn't the first time a platform has done this, though. Look at did you guys remember the Epic Game Store when they put everything on sale and the developers were not happy about it? It was a big debacle.
But don't they have a choice to go with somebody else?
Well, in this case with GOG, they probably do, but like in the Epic Game Store, they had an exclusivity clause with them. So they didn't have a choice, and they put their games on sale, and they're like, "What the hell? No, we don't want it on sale because we haven't made our bottom line yet, or whatever." And they had to hand out refunds, and it was a big debate. And this is once again these platforms. It's almost as if, and this is something that I think these platforms need to clarify. When you buy from these platforms, it's like these platforms act like they own these games.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't own these games. They are licensed to sell these games. They are a storefront. They are a retail facility. Walmart doesn't own the Sony TV they sell to you. Okay, Walmart has the license, the retail rights to sell that TV to you. That's what these storefronts are, these platforms are. And here recently, they're acting like they're the ones, and that's not the case, unless, in Epic Games, they own, Fortnite? They own Fortnite. Steam Games owns fucking Half-Life, Valve. I don't know what GOG. GOG's owned by, I think GOG's owned by CD Projekt, aren't they? Are they owned by CD Projekt?
I don't know.
I have to look that up. Hold on. Don't nobody quote me on that. GOG.
So here's my question.
Yeah, their own.
It is CD Projekt.
Yeah, so CD Projekt has the Witcher. And so yeah, I mean, they own those ones, but any other game that they sell on their storefront is just that. It's a retail right. It's not. They don't own the game.
So think about this, though. How different is this, in your opinion? And I'm just asking a question. I don't know that I have an opinion about this yet.
Okay.
How is this different than a grocery store or a retail store's return policy?
Well,
because there are plenty. I think I'm not going to say the name, but it's there's a grocery store in every city that has. We all know that as long as you have your receipt, I think pretty much anything can be returned within like 30 to 60 days. And it's stuff that can 100% be used for its intent and then returned.
Here's the difference that I think in that situation. You go to a store, a brick and mortar store. They have already bought the product from the manufacturer.
Okay,
right? We'll take a TV for a second. They brought it, and then they bought it at a discounted price because they're getting at cost. But they bought the product and then they put it in their store. So they own the products per se. Like, I get what you're saying, and then they sell it at the price that they have that they are going to sell in their store. Now, keeping in mind, whenever they enter agreements to buy that product at a cost price, they're also entering an agreement to say that we won't sell it past this price. And there's usually a clause in there saying after it's sat on the shelf for so long, we have the right to put it on a discounted price. If something comes back, we have the right to accept the return. These are our return policies. Like, these things are laid out before them, before they accept into this agreement with these companies as a retail store. And I kind of know these things because I've had friends who opened up game shops, like tabletop game shops and nerd shops, and they enter in these agreements. So that's how the brick and mortar side works. When they do these digital things, they aren't buying the game from them. In a lot of cases, the developers are entering into an agreement with the storefront that they're going to give them the money that they have made from the purchase of the game and give them a percentage of it. Like in GOG or Steam, it's an excessive amount. In Epic, it's like 12% or something like that. When they do that, they get their money.
What's up, Ace Platinum?
And then they, when the sale happens, money goes to them and it goes to a percentage goes to the storefront. The problem is when the storefront says,
is that a reference
hey,
to something? I don't know.
We're doing this refund policy. One of two things is going to happen. Either the storefront's going to eat the cost, and I don't think that's going to be the case, or the storefront's going to give them basically a chargeback and want the money back from the developers directly. That's the difference. There's the big difference. When you return a Sony TV to Walmart, they're not demanding the money back from the person like Sony. They're taking that money and putting the item back on the shelf. In the digital stuff, it's not the same. So did I kind of explain that for you, Tara?
Yep. I just wanted to pose the question. Again, Twitter's giving me fodder for discussion, as it always does.
So how close is Ace Platinum to our descriptions here?
Well, we'll see. I'm waiting on mine before I deliver the verdict.
What are we looking at? Ace
Chat.
Platinum.
He thinks your name is Brian. You're 45 and a cigarette salesman.
He's guessing our names, ages, and jobs.
The middle with the hat is Ernie, 28, and a pizza delivery driver who is also a professional farter. Oh.
I don't know how he knew that about you.
And on the right, Ernie's wife. Oh.
And Brian's
daughter is Casey, 23, and a bartender who currently studies pet shop management.
That's close.
Well, I'm definitely 23.
That's close.
So let's just ride that train all the way home.
I mean, obviously, I'm the oldest looking out of everybody.
Yeah, that's harsh. 45 is harsh.
I am 45. Gee.
I'm good with 28.
I'm good with 23.
I could pull it off.
12 years older than me. Wait, you're 23 and I'm only 45.
That's 22 years. Yeah, you could be your dad.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God! Don't ever, Tara, never call me that. Don't ever call me. No. No.
I do want to go on record as saying I'm nobody's wife.
Go on record and what?
Say I'm nobody's wife.
Okay.
She's a strong, independent black woman.
Fucking
Correct.
Rango, he's close with nerdy. Thanks a lot.
That is correct.
What
do I look like without a hat on? Now you're just being vulgar.
Also, what do you look
The hat's kind of my thing, so I can't.
I mean, I don't have a hat on. I can put one on, then you can guess what I look like.
Thank you for the follow, Ace.
Thanks for the follow.
It
Maybe one day.
Purpose, doesn't it?
So, I really.
Rango, come on. Whose side? Why are you telling all of our secrets? I feel violated.
I could show you a little forehead.
I'm not looking.
There.
I mean, to be fair, I found out what your style was, and it kind of caught me off guard.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Here's the real
thing. I will not remove articles of clothing for you because that is against our community standards.
I mean, unless you subscribe.
Well, now.
And it has to be a tier 3 subscription.
Yeah.
Right. We're not stripping for bits here, okay?
No, sir. Bits are like having pennies in your body.
Standards.
I am not wearing shoes right now, actually. I took my shoes off.
Oh, there you go. There it is.
But
there you go. Not safe for work for Twitch. All right. So are we?
I appreciate that, Ace. That was. I like it.
Although that does kind of. I know there are a lot of girl streamers who have to deal with like, can I see your feet or something like that.
Weird.
It's weird.
And I would just like to go on record as saying that a tier 3 subscription.
Bunny, thank you.
Could possibly get you a feet pick.
Bunny, just subscribe that tier 1.
Maybe just an ankle pick. I don't know.
Okay.
Tier 1 gets ankle. That's what it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Check our Discord for that.
Yeah, check your Discord for your special ankle picture coming soon.
Yes. Actually, Bunny, I'll see you in the whispers.
I'll send you a toe pic, Bunny. They're like hobbit feet.
Which toe?
The big one.
Oh, okay.
Bunny
just
gets
checking.
The big toe.
You can't do tier 3 on your phone. That's bullshit. Is that an actual thing?
Oh my! I didn't know that was a thing.
Chatterbait.
That's true. You can get all kinds of shit on Chatterbait.
Oh my god! Oh, moving on before this gets just
okay. Yeah.
This is so off topic.
Way off the rails here. Way off the rails.
You were talking about video game releases because it's getting close to the
end. Yeah. Okay, we're getting near the end of our time.
Do we talk about video games on this show?
Let's talk about let's talk about all the hot video games.
It got spicy in here.
All the hottest video games coming out.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. I got a headache from laughing so hard. Good golly. All right, so
no offense, dude. You're good.
No offense taken at all. That was awesome.
You're dealing.
Platinum?
Huh?
Oh, dude, we love that. That was great.
You're dealing with 2 veterans and a girl who is around veterans all the time. So
yeah, we actually have to turn our veteran knob down to before we do this show because if we did, there would be.
You have to use your inside veteran.
There would be things like dead baby jokes and stuff, and that's just we don't want to do that here.
Yeah,
that's just bad. Trust me, veterans have a sick sense of humor.
So March.
Yes.
Just last week, we had Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, which I do want to do on stream at some point with Tara. Next week we got Ori, Will of the Wisps.
Mm-hmm. We also have Neo next week. Neo 2.
Oh yes, Neo.
I will be playing that on my channel for sure because I loved the first one.
I liked the first one.
Well, see, I like, and I know I'm going to get crap because Rango's here. And I don't know if you guys know, I'm not the biggest fan of Dark Souls.
Stella's hurt.
And I just never liked Dark Souls. Rango recently got me into Dark Souls 2. I'm going to try give it a go again. However,
wait, which one? Dark Souls 2?
Dark Souls 2, yeah.
That's the worst one of the series.
Oh no! You've the rank will anger you.
Okay.
You've angered the
No,
rank.
I'm not saying it's bad, but it's the worst one of the series. I still like it.
Rango says is the best of the series.
Well, I'm sorry.
Anyway, I found Dark Souls combat, and still do, to be kind of slow and not very, like, you just kind of can spam one button. There's not any kind of groove to it. Whereas Neo's combat is very in depth with different stances and different attacks and different things that happen when you combine different stances with different attacks. Like, that's what I really like.
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking forward to.
I mean, I think the argument with Dark Souls is that it's supposed to be slow. It's a type of combat where you have to have patience and you can't go in there all gung ho and shit. You know, you got to play defensively and
a little bit, I
strategically,
guess.
But yeah, I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it.
Like, I just think Neo's combat is much more intuitive and a little bit more complicated. You know, and I think with the stances and everything, I think it adds a bit more to it. But that's just my opinion. That's why I'm excited for it. Let's continue on our list before we piss off every Dark Souls community person in here.
Yeah. It sounds like we got a lot of Dark Souls guys in here, so
we do.
You should just shut up.
Just gotta shut up before I make them all unsub to you.
3 types of people who eat lots of fast food and sodas. So what are your favorite fast food and sodas?
Okay, that's 100% accurate over here on the Player 22 side.
Yeah.
In fact, if you watch our regular stream, we will almost always order food at some point.
This is a good topic, though. It's a good topic. Fuck the games.
Let's just answer Ace's questions for the remainder of the show.
My favorite soda is probably Mountain Dew. That's probably the easy answer.
That's so stereotypical gamer.
Typical stereotypical gamer thing.
I know.
Well, I'm going to be a stereotypical Southern woman and say Dr. Pepper.
Really? Dr. Pepper?
I don't know about fast food, man.
Wait. Do Monster energy drinks count as a soda?
It could.
They probably should.
Okay, well then Monster energy drink is my favorite.
Yeah, if we want to go that route, I could. No, I would still say Mountain Dew. Fuck it. But I also like Monsters and Bangs.
I feel like you are a Rip It boy.
Only in Iraq.
He's like, yeah, I know about the Rip It.
Only, yeah.
Okay, well let's hurry up and finish the game releases real quick.
I'm gonna have to think about the fast food thing because I don't know.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got obviously we all know Doom and Animal Crossing come out on the same day.
On 20th, yep. Let's see. Other than that, there's Bleeding Edge is a game that I actually might want to play with you.
Okay.
It's a battle game, not really battle royale, but like.
Is it a shooter?
It's no. Google Bleeding Edge.
Bleeding Edge sounds like like swords and shit.
You will be very confused when you Google it, when you see what it is.
Bleeding Edge is fun, but its MOBA-inspired gameplay has a bit of a learning curve.
Yeah, but look at like what it is. Like I don't know how to explain it. There are grannies, there are fat ladies who are motorcycles, there are nerds who heal people. Like, I don't know how else to put it. It's an amalgamation of like just stuff.
Okay. Any specific? Oh, Ninja Theory. That's interesting. This doesn't look like a Ninja Theory game.
It isn't. It isn't a Ninja. It is not your typical Ninja Theory game.
What the fuck?
Okay,
so there is melee combat.
It is melee.
Okay.
Ish.
Oh, there's so much going on. I know this is my noob's gonna hang out, but I see these games where there's that many players on the screen. I'm so ADD. Like in Bayonetta, one of the things I had to learn was what I was looking at.
Yeah.
Because there's so much. It was just I'm just playing one player, and everybody else is like just part of the video game, and I'm like, where am I supposed to be looking right now? There's so much.
But yeah,
it's battle royale, but like kind of melee combat based.
yeah, but you're not picking up any gear or anything.
Yeah,
Like it's not like battle royale like PUBG. You
What
come in
are
with
those? They look like
there's a lot of different things going. Okay, I mean, I'll check
I think
it out.
it could be a fun game to play.
Yeah, I would definitely be down to check
I
it
would
out.
totally commentate this because there's so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
like a
there's a
big, scary aqua blue bubble gun.
Well,
Wait.
apparently there's like a granny that jumps around and can freeze you and put you in a bird cage.
Fantastic.
Play
Yeah,
DMC. Rango, who you telling to play DMC?
Rango hates Ninja Theory because they were the ones who tried to make the DMC.
Yeah. I know. I know all about that shit. So
Yeah,
I agree.
Rango AD is a Devil May Cry fan, so he's with you on that.
DMC and MGS, my two favorite series.
Okay, so going down the list, also another game that you guys might want to stream. That might be interesting because you guys are into horror-esque game. Moons of Madness comes out on the same day Bleeding Edge does.
Moons of Madness.
I'm sold based on the name.
Mm-hmm. On the 24th. And then other than that, we have Persona 5 Royale on the 31st. And the tentative release date for Half-Life Alyx. Remember that VR game we talked about last time? The tentative date is sometime in March.
Okay.
So those are the big ones we got this week.
You know what else comes out at the end of March? Persona 5 Royal.
Yeah. Too bad nobody's going to know that it came out because
you guys both just spoiled the release date.
No one is ever going to know anything about that game.
Oh no, we said. So wait. So we said the name Persona 5 Royale. So we're going to have to take off the game. We're going to take off the stream.
We're going to put a honk over every time we say the name of that game on this.
Oh my god. Well, you know what? Are they going to become like who are the people who made Borderlands?
Oh my god, please let it be Butts. Ace, that's a great question. I would totally play it if it was Butts.
Play what?
Moons
as in the lunar.
Oh my god.
What did I
or
look
moons
up?
as in butts.
Moons of Madness.
It would be like, okay, so like Untitled
Butts of Madness.
Goose Game.
Okay.
But you have to moon people instead of honk and flap at them.
This is a copyrighted.
I'm going to work on this.
Idea. This patent pending.
I'm going to work on this.
This is like, okay, so cosmic horror. That's kind of weird.
Well, that just means like horror in space, right?
Like Lovecraftian type of horror.
Yeah, well, it's like if you go to the website, there's a big old text going after the guy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like Cthulhu shit or something.
So like,
yeah, but he's like
Blair Witch meets The Martian. I'm sorry. I'm being silly.
Tara's losing it. It's time to end the show.
I lost my train of thought.
Oh, I think we covered all the shit. Is it time we?
Yeah, that's we're at the end of the list for March. So
how long we been going? How long's the show been this week?
2 hours. 2 hours minus the time we were on the starting screen.
Okay, so we're actually about where we're supposed to be. We're doing good. I don't have any more topics. Actually. Nothing that's really big.
Let's see. Let's make sure we didn't miss any comments.
Here's one.
Ace, thanks for the host.
Fantastic.
We got a host? Who's hosting us?
Ace.
Who?
Ace Platinum.
Ace. Oh, Ace.
Our new friend.
Oh, the guy who wants to know all of our secrets.
The guy who wants to see Tara's feet.
She has to pay for it like Bunny Fufu did.
It's true. No freebies.
Leroy can talk for 2 hours about what he doesn't like about Neo. No, you don't have to. I mean, seems like Nerd is the only one who prefers Neo.
I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people out there.
Well, they're not in here.
They released that game just for Nerdy.
Yeah, that's just for me. Right. it's... But yeah, other than that, I don't think I have anything to talk about as Kickstarter. But the only thing really big on Kickstarter right now is if you like Pathfinder and you want to see the next Pathfinder game, go donate to their Kickstarter. They're almost done. 3 days left. I like Pathfinder.
I've heard of Pathfinder, but I'm trying to think of what it is.
I'm supporting Pathfinder over Baldur's Gate because they hurt my soul.
Do you want to talk about Baldur's Gate real quick? Or is that like a long discussion for you?
It's,
We can go overtime. I don't give a shit.
Do you know how you feel about DMC remake or the reboot?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember that feeling of emptiness and that feeling of just anger that rises in your gut every time you think about what they turned Dante into?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how I feel about Baldur's Gate. But this is from a studio that I love because it's Larian Studios making it.
Oh, really?
And for the most part, if you go watch it, they have the stuff on YouTube because they did a gameplay reveal. If you go watch it, it looks like Divinity Original Sin 2 Baldur's Gate Edition. Like, Baldur's Gate was always a pausable real-time combat. They made it the exact same combat system as Divinity Original Sin.
Okay.
It's nothing that I came to love and believe what Baldur's Gate was. And
was Baldur's Gate, was it not turn-based like that before?
No, Baldur's Gate was the first game to really, because they were made by BioWare, the first Baldur's Gate. It was the first game to really pave the way for pausable real-time combat. And it was amazing. And then Baldur's Gate 2 happened. And then there was Icewind Dale 1 and 2. And then that sparked, the games like Fallouts and all these other games that pausable real-time combat to give people those, and the Pillars of Eternity and really great games. And now they have the opportunity to bring that idea into the present age where we have the technology to do it even better, and they decided to go with turn-based. And I get it. The reason why they went with turn-based, there's a reason for it. And it'll be the only reason why I play the game. Because it's turn-based, like Divinity Original Sin 2, you and I could play it online. But you really can't do that with a pausable real-time combat game. It'd just be impossible. But it's still, as a fan of the Baldur's series and what it was, still upset about it.
Ace, what's your favorite movie? Let's start off with that. Does the D on your hat stand for Duck? Well, that's funny, because Duck is actually a character in The Walking Dead.
It does not stand for Duck for two reasons. One, he was annoying, and two, I had to kill him. So that's why it doesn't stand for Duck. I actually don't know what it stands for. This is Clementine's hat from the Walking Dead game.
It's a made-up team.
No, it's just because Tara likes that big D.
Made-up sports team.
Yeah. And that. It's all about the D.
The big D right there. She likes the big D. It has to be a blue D, though.
On my forehead. Right on my forehead.
Favorite movie is Star Wars? I mean, which Star Wars? Let's get deeper into that.
Or do you mean by Star Wars, do you mean the first one?
Oh, no, here it comes. Here it comes. Be careful with your answer here.
But you also enjoyed Toy Story and Shrek. Okay, that's good.
That's fair.
Cool. There's a fetish about D on female foreheads.
All right, it's time to end the show.
Okay.
It's time to get out of here.
Okay.
So, I wasn't ready for that. I'm not going to lie.
No one's.
Because I was on this Star Wars, Toy Story, and Shrek, and then it was like a very abrupt.
The whole series? That's fair. That's fair, I'll take it. If you just enjoy the whole series, whatever. Can't pick one.
But yeah, I'm out of topics. That's how I feel about Baldur's Gate.
Okay, well, I'm just kind of... Favorite individual is Return of the Jedi. Okay, that's fair.
Fair. Okay.
Soul Creek's favorite movie is Back to the Future.
Yeah, fair. Also fair.
I don't know if I could pick a favorite movie.
I was just thinking that. I have like a top 3.
These are hard topics to just throw at us like this. We should be better at this.
My favorite, like all-time favorite movie, or can we have categories?
See, that's...
Yeah, I would have... Everything would have to be categorized.
Like, if I thought my favorite movie, right off the bat, the first movie that comes to mind, and you guys are going to hate me for this one, because it has Antonio Banderas in it.
What's wrong with him?
I'm still here.
And it's in a movie that's kind of cringeworthy for a lot of people. The 13th Warrior.
Never saw it.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Antonio Banderas plays a person from the Middle East who has to go travel around with Vikings.
I thought you were going to say Once Upon a Time in Mexico, and then I was going to virtually high five you.
I thought you were going to say Zorro.
Nope. Ooh, Zorro. But nope. The 13th Warrior is the first one that comes to my head, and then the next one that if I think of childhood favorites would be Dragonheart, the first one.
Okay.
But that's I'm a weirdo. I like B-rated movies.
Yeah.
I like B movies.
I watched a lot of kind of, I guess you could say, like cheesy shit as a kid that I really loved.
I would like to shout out to Leroy, who says he doesn't watch a lot of movies. I'm the same way. Movies are kind of exhausting to me. It's a really big investment of like block of time. It could affect me emotionally, like in ways I don't want to be affected, et cetera, et cetera. So therefore, the result is I have terrible taste in movies. Like my favorite movies are not gonna be winning the Oscars.
I've watched Hacker's Bunny. If Tara hasn't, does that mean you'll only sub for half as much?
Oh my goodness!
Dumb and Dumber reminds you of us. Okay, who's who?
Wait,
That's fair.
Who? Yeah, who's? There's only two characters in Dumb and Dumber. So who's the third wheel?
That's me. He said y'all. You two.
Us two? Remember, there's three of us here.
Well, right, but he said the two guys.
Oh.
Not a guy. Spoiler alert.
Oh. I mean, you could be. I mean, you haven't proven anything.
Yeah, she's basically Petey.
Oh my god, she got out of the chair as soon as on my stream, I saw her get out of the chair. I was like, you haven't proven anything. She got, no, don't prove no!
Okay. That was fun.
Yeah,
that was fun.
This is fun. I think we covered all of our topics.
Yeah.
Unless, okay, let's open up the chat real quick. Chat. Other than asking us random weird questions about us, which we're loving, by the way, are there any nerd topic news that you guys want to hear us talk about or want to bring up? I think that's a good way to end it.
Leroy does not like movies because of the time investment. No investment in the characters compared to video games where I'm actually doing something. Yeah, that makes sense. I really enjoy movies though. I enjoy different types of one thing I actually don't like to do a lot is get into TV series.
I get that.
Never watched Walking Dead or like Game
I
of
like
Thrones
it
or
when
anything.
the story's over, when this episode or whatever is done. You know what I mean? I think that's why I watch so many like crime dramas. Because the crime is solved by the end of the episode.
So you like each episode is its own little
Black Mirror was a good series for me because I didn't have to watch them in order. You know what I mean? I could just watch one and walk away.
So you like South Park then, right?
Oh yeah.
That's a good point, Rango. I actually do, even though I said I don't like to get into TV series, I do watch a lot of anime series. So
I'm starting to learn to get into some of it. One of my favorite ones I've gotten into in the last, like an anime about a guy who gets trapped in. I mean,
you're cutting out. What was that? What
Overlord?
Overlord?
Sorry, I got away from
okay.
Yeah, Overlord is the one I'm getting into. That's a big one that I've just recently found out there's like 2 additional seasons. I watched the first season, loved it, thought that was it. No, there's 2 more seasons.
I need to go watch them. I need to watch more anime. Even though I say I watch a lot of anime series, I need to watch more because I haven't watched Code Geass.
I also want to watch the one like the 7 Deadly Sins or whatever one it is.
Yeah, what is that? That's on Netflix, right?
Where the sins are the good guys or whatever.
Yeah,
I need to watch that one.
So I actually, now that we've mentioned that, Fairy Tail was actually supposed to come out this month, but got delayed to July.
What is that?
It's a manga/anime.
Well, I heard there was supposed to be an anime that came out that was about people breeding with other people. I don't like. It was like interspecies breeding or something.
I don't know.
Is that anime or is that something else? Am I thinking something else?
I Don't know. Have any of us ever needed to run off and poop? No. But Tara takes frequent bathroom breaks.
I drink a lot of
I
coffee
can say
on
there have
stream.
been once or twice since I've started streaming that I've had to be like, I need to go to the bathroom, and it was like, it's like that scene from Austin Powers, like, I got the turtle head poking that could choke a donkey.
Oh my god.
Interspecies Reviewer? Is that the name of it?
Yes, that's what it was. It got canceled because it was like too much for people. It was actually a kind of a debacle about it because they're like, this is too bad. You can't do this. Where people were actually going around and like having sex with the whole thing was they had to go around and with other species and do things, adult activities.
Okay.
And they made an anime out of it. It got canceled on one of the streaming services. Yeah, it's hella raunchy watching birth and shit too. Why would I want to watch that?
I don't want to watch human birth, much less interspecies hybrid birth.
Look, I've seen goats get born. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. I've seen people give birth. Like, it's a beautiful moment, but it's not a beautiful thing. If that makes any sense to anybody.
You want us to gargle water one by one and not laugh? I could do anything.
I'm done.
I could do anything and not laugh.
80s over here were enough money. I could. I've got nothing.
Okay, let's not talk about this specific anime anymore.
Yeah, I'm just saying we
can talk about anime, but not this one. Because, I mean, for one, Tara doesn't watch anime, and this is not a good intro for her. So
am I cutting out again, Mr. Sulker?
You have been, yeah.
Be. I wonder what happens. My gain gone? I gotta check.
Yeah, I don't care for birth giving subjects, visuals in general.
We're not going to talk about Bible Black. Rango.
Parenting. I'm allergic.
She's like anything that has to do with children, unless it's Evil Bunny Fufu's child because she's adorable.
Correct.
Tara's just like Tara's like no.
You know what anime Tara would like though is Death Note.
Did they make that into a movie?
And it was horrible as ass.
I'm only asking because I've heard of that, and
yes,
I wanted to make sure that was the same thing.
Did you watch the movie?
No.
Okay, don't.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well.
Yes, it is very extreme ace. That's why we're moving on.
Mm-hmm.
How do you say that? Reese?
Code Chaos.
Oh, there's no R in there.
Yeah.
I just invented a letter with my eyeballs. Okay.
Yeah. I only say Death Note because it goes more along her lines of like crime dramas and that type of stuff. So
Alright. Yep. Alright guys, well I
have anime homework, I have new games.
We do. You have all we are putting you on a fast track to full notification.
It's true.
I think Tuesday we're probably gonna check out Pokemon.
Oh, the dungeon one? Okay. Sounds good. I gotta get going.
Okay. Alright. We are lingering.
We are lingering.
But this was a good show, though. I mean, we get like the chat is really active today.
This is what we're trying to get, guys.
Yeah.
And just out of curiosity, I'm curious, how many guys came from me announcing on Ruicon's channel? Recently, Ruicon. By the way, I have to do a shout out because he let us, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Ruicon is a fellow streamer. He's the guy who taught me everything I know as a streamer. And he recently, I asked him, he said it's okay, we can announce the show on his channel every 2 weeks when we go live. And I want to say, go check him out. If you don't know who Rurikhan is, he's a streamer who streams Monster Hunter. He also has a YouTube channel. Go check him out. He's a great guy, wonderful person, and a great community of Iron Breakers. But yeah, I was just curious how many people came from Rurikhan stuff.
Yeah, I'd never really watched him, but I mean, I know you guys talk about him a lot, so I just want to reiterate that. Thank you to Rurikhan for the support.
Nice. But yeah, we get to do outros?
Yeah. Okay, so Ace was just scrolling through. Well, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for clicking on us.
Anybody who has the little shield things are actually guys who originally found me and everybody through Rurikhan. That's his little emote. Shields up.
Nice.
Oh, you came to troll. Okay. Well, thank you for sticking around. I have actually warded off trolls before just because they said I was too chill.
AD is very difficult to troll. In that you're not going to get the reaction out of him that you're expecting.
Yeah, I'll engage with the stupid question, but if it gets really ridiculous, I'll just be like, yeah, whatever.
You just don't exist anymore.
Yeah, typically trolls come to my channel and they kind of move in.
We are a merry band of trolls, aren't we?
All right, gotta get going. I got something.
All right, guys, that is our show. Thank you for everyone for joining us, and thank you for such an active chat today. It was really fun, and you guys kept us longer than we wanted to go, but it was fun.
Absolutely, it was a lot of fun.
If you guys in the future want to, give us some topics, you're welcome to join our Discords, talk to us there, or I have an email that you can email player22@22kill.com. Whatever you want. But that's it for us. We are Player22.
That's all.
This is Nerdy Farmer.
Yep, you can find me at Nerdy Farmer on Twitch.
Goodbye, guys. Smile and wave.
Smile away, boys.